Welcome to IELTS Wordcraft. In this explainer, we are going to seriously upgrade your vocabulary. Today, we're going to master these 20 advanced vocabulary words. They're all focused on progress and planning. We aren't going to read through this whole list right now. Instead, we'll cover their exact meanings first and then firmly lock them into your memory using a really fun, memorable story. Let's get right into it.
All right, let's dive right in with our first word, reinforce, which simply means to strengthen or make stronger. Think about it like this. Teachers use quizzes to reinforce learning. Next up is rely, meaning to depend on or trust. For instance, many people rely on public transportation to get to work. Moving on to restrain, which is to control or prevent someone from acting. Like, he tried to restrain his anger. And finally, for this group, reveal. This means to show or make known, such as when a report revealed several problems.
Moving right along, we have rigid, an adjective meaning stiff or not flexible. A great example is a school that has rigid rules. Then we've got seek, meaning to look for or try to get, like how a company seeks new customers. We also have subordinate, which means lower in rank or an employee under a manager. For example, a subordinate officer followed the order. Lastly here is substitute, which means a replacement or to replace with something else, like when we used honey as a substitute for sugar.
Let's see how our vocabulary builds. Take contemporary, which means modern or existing at the exact same time, like a museum that displays contemporary art. Then there's regime, which is a government system or an organized program. Think of someone who follows a strict fitness regime. Our next word is ultimate, meaning final or most important, like if their ultimate goal is success. And widespread means common or affecting many people. For example, there was widespread support for the plan.
Next up we have retain, meaning to keep or continue to have. You might say, I can retain information better by taking notes. Precede means to come before or happen earlier than something else, just like heavy rain often precedes a storm. If you presume something, you suppose or assume it without full proof, like, I presume you have finished the assignment. And prior means earlier or before something else, which is why prior experience is helpful.
For our final 4 words, we start with qualitative. This means based on qualities, not numbers. For example, we need qualitative feedback. Then we have inevitable, meaning certain to happen or completely unavoidable. Because, let's face it, change is inevitable. Comprise means to consist of or be made up of, such as a committee that comprises 10 members. And finally, pursue, meaning to follow or work toward a goal. She decided to pursue a career in medicine.
Section 1. Barnaby and the World's Worst Research Project. Now that we have the definitions down, we are going to see all 20 of these words applied in a continuous story. This is really going to cement them in your memory.
Barnaby decided that his ultimate goal in life was to become a famous scientist. Unfortunately, his previous scientific achievements included accidentally freezing a sandwich and calling it advanced food preservation. Still, he chose to pursue his dream. Before beginning his project, he did some prior research. A short lecture would precede the official experiment, and Barnaby promised to pay attention. Everyone immediately presumed this promise would last about 3 minutes. The university had a very rigid research regime. Every rule had to be followed exactly. Barnaby tried his best, although he accidentally submitted a shopping list instead of a research proposal. His professor assigned a subordinate assistant named Clara to help him. You must rely on facts, Clara explained. Barnaby nodded and wrote, Fact, pigeons look suspicious. Clara quickly tried to restrain him from adding that to the final report.
The project aimed to reveal why students always became hungry during lectures. To gather evidence, Barnaby would seek volunteers. The research team comprised 20 students and 3 professors. One volunteer later dropped out and was replaced by a substitute who mainly participated for free snacks.
The university wanted both numerical and qualitative data. Numbers were easy. The interviews were harder. One student said, lectures make me hungry because learning burns energy. Another said, I smell someone's lunch. Barnaby carefully tried to retain every answer. Soon the results showed a widespread pattern. Nearly everyone became hungry around the same time. The findings seemed almost inevitable. Meanwhile, a group of contemporary researchers from another university published a similar study. Barnaby panicked. We must work faster, he shouted while running into a door.
After several weeks, the team managed to reinforce their conclusions with additional evidence. Finally, the report was complete.
During the presentation, Clara explained the data clearly and professionally. Then Barnaby stood up. "I can now reveal the truth," he announced dramatically. The audience leaned forward. "The main cause of lecture hunger is that lunchtime happens right after the lecture." Silence filled the room. Then the audience applauded. Not because the conclusion was brilliant, because everyone was relieved that Barnaby hadn't accidentally set anything on fire.
Section 2. Advanced Synonym Challenge. Choose the best synonym for the highlighted word. A short introduction preceded the main presentation. Is it A, interrupted, B, followed, C, came before, or D, summarized? The manager's subordinate completed the report. A, colleague, B, assistant, C, customer, or D, competitor. The company hired a substitute teacher for the week. A, replacement, B, supervisor, C, volunteer, or D, expert.
The government introduced a new economic regime. A, celebration, B, system, C, prediction, or D, document.
The museum focuses on contemporary art. A, ancient, B, international, C, modern, or D, expensive.
Choose the two closest synonyms for ultimate. A, final, B, greatest, C, prior, or D, temporary. You can find the answers in this explainer's comments section. Also, you can download today's vocabulary PDF for free from this explainer's description. Please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments and I'll use them for future explainers.